It's January 5th, 2026. Welcome to YesToHellWith.com. If you are an Inner Circle or Patriot member of YesToHellWith.com, you received an email last week with a report about the congressional record that was discussed in a video. This week you will be receiving another report. I encourage you to file these on your computer and print them out for studying and storing as a record that supports your foundation of your good faith beliefs. Many of you have been very supportive of the narrow message delivered on YesToHellWith.com, and for that I am grateful. You have listened to the content, you have reflected on the ideas, and many of you have expressed appreciation for the concepts. These concepts, which are grounded in the context of the Liberty Dialogues, are not designed to energize people emotionally or stir conflict. They are designed to take us out of the trenches of flawed theories and habitual reactions and elevate us to the 100,000-foot level where we can see the entire battlefield with greater clarity and objectivity. That perspective matters, and today I want to explain why. As I shared, I was sent to federal prison for failure to file income tax returns. At the time, I had a solid understanding of my good faith beliefs. I understood jurisdiction. I understood that something was fundamentally wrong with the system. I was not ignorant, reckless, or unserious. I knew many people involved in what was commonly referred to as the movement. I knew John Kottmeyer, founder of the Save a Patriot Fellowship. He was a friend of mine. I was involved in Project Toto around the year 2000. I worked with Bob Schultz and the We the People Foundation, and at one point I served as the Virginia representative for his organization. I was a signatory to the suit for the redress of grievances against the federal government. I argued jurisdiction from beginning to end. I asked repeatedly and in writing for the law that compelled me to file a federal income tax return, and I never received a response. And candidly, I believed that I handled myself well from beginning to end. However, an absolutely corrupt court and judge prevented me from prevailing. Now that's a different story. But here is the truth I did not fully understand then, and neither did most of the people with whom I associated. Knowing what is wrong is not the same as knowing how the system operates. Looking back now with greater clarity than I had then, I can say this plainly and without bitterness. I made mistakes. Not because I was wrong about the problem, but because I did not yet understand the mechanics of the system that I confronted. That distinction is everything. Now, I humbly suggest that this is why, even today, that Americans still do not have a viable solution to defeat an unjust and fraudulent government process. Every day, many of you send me documents, letters, videos, and theories that you believe are credible or useful. I review some of them, and I ask myself basically three questions. Is this information true? Is it coherent? And most importantly, does it actually help someone improve their position against the system? Because if something does not lead to greater insight, greater restraint, and greater self-command, then we are not better off for having it. Let me share a real example. Last week, a subscriber asked for help with an IRS matter. Now, what makes this example valuable is not the IRS notice itself, but the response the subscriber sent back years ago. He said in part, quote, "I order you to cease and desist all activities against me," end quote. He then went on to state, and I will paraphrase, "This is in response to the letter asking why I did not file a 2023 1040 tax return. You need to clear the record. It is a fact that I am a natural-born state citizen. I was born here in its constitutional capacity as one of the several states of the Union, and I am an inhabitant thereof. It is a fact that my birth certificate is proof that I am a state citizen. I was born here. See the attached birth certificate. It is a fact that I am not a United States citizen, resident, person, individual, or any other legal fiction, nor have I ever been until I learned the truth. I have also provided a copy of my revocation of election to pay taxes that I sent to your office in February, March 2024. I also provide a copy of my declaration of political status that's been recorded in the local office here. It is a fact that I explicitly reserve all my rights, always and forevermore. And it is a fact that the United States, with intent and great deception, uses the term United States citizen to deprive the people of their rights, their birthrights, their property, and freedom, and further to relegate the status of the people to that of livestock. I owe you nothing, nor do you have any jurisdiction over me. The constant, unceasing letters from you and your satellite departments that harass, threaten, or attempt at coercion, scare tactics, stalking, and other actions are depriving me of my right to tranquility, guaranteed by the preamble of and the rest of the Constitution for the United States of America. You are violating the RICO laws, stalking laws, depriving rights under color of law as well as the common law and the Constitution. Your actions are also acts of treason and tyranny. I order you to cease and desist all activities against me. Now, let's pause here and ask how this response to the IRS either helped or harmed this person's position. If you want, please leave your observations in the comments section of this chat or send an email to info@yestohellwith.com. Tomorrow, we will delve even deeper and discover some valuable insight. For the few subscribers who complain that I only talk and that I only provide information and that I do not offer solutions, this is your opportunity to participate, because only if you have truly listened to my videos and the essence of the Liberty Dialogue's content, as most of you have, will you have something constructive to add. This exercise is not about cleverness. It's not about showing how much information you think you possess. It's about discipline. When we slow down and examine real-world examples like this one without emotion, without loyalty, without ego, we begin to see something most people never understand. That how we engage the system matters more than what we believe about it. This is where grounded knowledge becomes wisdom. And wisdom brings something that constant reaction never will: clarity and peace of mind. When we act upon grounded knowledge, wisdom, and truth in that proper order, we increase our opportunity to prevail. Like so many of you, I believe that we endure certain experiences in life for a reason. I did not expect to go to prison for my deeply held beliefs that are profoundly congruent in a spiritual sense. I don't spew opinions. I don't spit into a mic about various theories that you have to do A, B, or C. And I'm not suggesting that you lack the fortitude to act as the main reason for our collective failure as a country. And I'm not demanding that you file affidavits based upon flawed theories that this establishes truth and puts you on the offensive and the government on the defensive. Rather, I use my experience to invite you to know yourself and to comprehend what we do not know. I invite you to gain a better appreciation of the system. I invite you to study the example above and to think carefully and to respond thoughtfully. Because only when we move beyond reaction and into disciplined understanding do we stop feeding the system the very things it needs to move against us. And that is why this conversation matters. And as always, may truth reign supreme.